Today, we're going to explore the most exciting and busiest place here in Toronto, Canada, the Eaton Centre in Nathan Phillips Square.
The Eaton Centre is the largest of the Eaton centres and one of Toronto's most visited tourist attractions, while the Nathan Phillips Square is an urban plaza with an ice rink for ice skating.
To be more exciting, we will not only explore here, but we are going to ask the people about their thoughts, experiences, and opinions. Eaton Centre is a name associated with shopping malls in Canada, originating with Eaton's, one of Canada's largest department store chains at the time that these malls were developed. As of today, only the Toronto and Montreal Eaton Centres retain the Eaton name. Some malls in smaller urban areas, which were typically the least successful of all the Eaton Centre developments, have been demolished or converted to other non-retail uses.
When you go to this Eaton Centre, Nathan Phillips Square area, it is hard if you miss the life of selling and buying there. Eaton Centre has a variety of stores organizing in each level. Level 1 will have the most common store like Old Navy, Shoppers Drug Mart. And it's easy to buy presents there with the price range from only $5. Second level are mainly focused on apparel stores, and the third one have more mid-end and high-end brands like Kate Spade, Coach. Side Eaton Centre store have bigger area, but fewer customer. The stores such as Muji, Foot Locker only serve for customers who don't want to waste time working in Eaton. The stores are from different countries with different styles as well. The busiest time for sale people in the neighborhood will be Boxing Day, Black Friday, and pre-Christmas like other areas.
Activities always vary during the whole day in the area of Eaton Centre and Nathan Phillips Square. We can find a lot of diversity of restaurants at the Eaton Centre area. There are different kinds of tastes from different countries, and there are also other restaurants that surround the area of Nathan Phillips Square, and there are also food stands, but they are most times more expensive than the restaurants inside the Eaton. The Toronto Subway is a rapid transit system serving Toronto and the neighboring city of Vaughan in Ontario, Canada. In 1954, the TTC opened Canada's first underground rail line, then known as the Yonge Subway, and with 1.58 million riders every weekday, it's the busiest rapid transit system in Canada in terms of ridership. Despite numerous delays, the TTC has been introducing a fleet of 204 low-floor Flexity Outlook model streetcars. The TTC has decided to put many streetcars in downtown Toronto area because these areas are usually the busiest ones and many people are rushing for work and school. The streetcars get crowded at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. because people are heading to their work. The Old City Hall is a Romanesque-style civic building and courthouse in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, from 1899 to 1966, and remains one of the city's most prominent structures. Even though the clock tower was off-center, balance was achieved through the repetition of the subtitle details of measure and pattern. As soon as it opened on 13 September 1965, Toronto's new City Hall became an identifiable and unique civic symbol. The building helped to legitimize modern architecture and was noted for its experiments with 20th century building technologies. Nathan Phillips Square is an urban plaza in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It forms the forecourt to Toronto City Hall or New City Hall at the intersection of Queen Street, West, and Bay Street, and is named for Nathan Phillips, Mayor of Toronto from 1955 to 1962. It opened in 1965. The square is the site of concerts, art displays, a weekly farmers market, the Winter Festival of Lights, and other public events.
Very diverse. Amazing, crowded.
Concrete.
The square?
Yeah.
Inadequate.
And then why?
Again, because.
I found it wonderful, and I have seen in my life for the first time these tall buildings.
9. I just got one mark, that's just because of the weather. It's too cold.
Yeah, I don't really love the city. A 5. I'll give it a 5. Yeah.
But why?
Why?
Yes.
It's
cold.
Well, yeah, it is very cold in the winters, but it's very gloomy.
Yeah.
It tends to get very there's not enough sunlight hours in the winters.
I would have to give it a 7. Just for personal experience, I didn't want to move to Toronto. I wanted to go somewhere much different. Toronto is smaller than a lot of people think it is. People think it's really big, it's really not. Anywhere you go, you probably know someone that knows you, that knows your best friend. So, it's pretty small, yeah.
I give 10. For the yeah, it's lively, and for the first time I've seen CN Tower, and it is interesting.
I'm gonna give it a 3 because.
Just because?
Because anybody who knows anything about Toronto knows what I just said.
I think 3. Well, I think people are just, you know, they're just doing their thing. It's downtown. They're focused on what they want to do. So I don't think they're unfriendly, but I wouldn't describe them as friendly either.
I would say like a 4. I'd say for the most part, people are generally really nice. Of course, when you work in retail, it's a little bit different. You kind of see the not so nice end of it sometimes, but I'd say for the most part, my interaction with people is pretty positive.
Probably a 2. This area is really, really busy, and a lot of people are going through it, and they're not really focused on communicating and chatting. So a lot of people are going to somewhere, and they're not focused on really being, you know, manners.
Okay.
For me, I will rate it 4 because that is a very convenient place that I can do my shopping and release my stress and hang out with my friends. But on the other side, at that neighborhood, it kind of like it has a lot of traffic jam.
I would say a 3. Some people because Toronto's so busy, like a lot of people don't like talk to people on the street. Like if you do ask for directions, they'll kind of like help you out. But like most times, people just walk and mind their business.
3.5. It's a very commercial area, so it's not a great place to, because of the traffic and the amount of people saturated in the area, it's not a great place to go, and especially in rushes, but it's a great place to go shop.
I think it's 5. O sea, venimos de aquí de turista como 3 semanas nada más, pero hemos preguntado a la gente alrededor y así nos contestan muy amablemente. Incluso si no entendemos algo, nos ayudan, nos guían y así con mucha paciencia, muy amable.
So he said that most people that they have found in Toronto are very friendly, and even if they don't speak the language, they will like they are still nice to them.
Oh yes, all access, you know, the transits are all here. The weather is not bad.
To represent Toronto, I would. Downtown is very multicultural. You see lots of people, different ages, different races, very, very diverse. One of the most diverse cities of the world, actually. Lots of places to eat, different types of food. It's a great place to come.
Definitely.
Sí, creo que toda la gente aquí de distintas partes del mundo es importante porque ayudan a que sea también a que todos sean más amables y pues sí ayudan a la economía del país.
He said that basically almost the same thing, that most people from other countries help the country with the economy.
I feel so. Like Canada has a lot of immigrants.
Absolutely, I think it is a huge component of it. I come from a family of immigrants, so it's very important to me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. As a Canadian, I think that's a big part, like a big thing that makes me proud to be Canadian, is that there's so many different cultures, and it's a big melting pot. I definitely would agree with you.
For sure. I know that under Pierre Trudeau, I mean, that was something that the government actually decided that they wanted to to develop in our country. So I think there was actually a government initiative to encourage people from all parts of the world, and now I think that everybody loves that about the country.
I feel that living in Canada, people are more concerned about how the other person would react. That is very true. You have to be cautious with what you say, because everything and anything you say can either be taken into a good or bad sense by the customer. So I would say that it is a major concern, but then again, there are ways to go about it.
It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it creates certain challenges, like when you're trying to maybe communicate with people from different countries, but that's just part of the job, is helping tourists have a good experience here, and because we are so multicultural, you want to give them the best experience possible. So I wouldn't say it's a problem at all.
We'll only sum up some of the remarkable points from the interview. We acknowledge that people in this neighborhood are not perfectly friendly in other people's eyes because they mind their own business, but they will help you if you need, like when you lost your direction. And if people are asked about the safety and health of this area, most of them do not have a concern at all, but some of them are worried about the increase in shootings recently. This area is described as unique, amazing, crowded. Yes, true, but it is also lack of nature. It's concrete and inadequate. Interesting. And when rating Toronto on scale from 1 to 10, as you see, not a lot of 9, 10, but if you are asked about taking Queen and Bay Area to represent Toronto and multiculturalism as a part of Canadian identities, all the answers will be yes,
Dundas
definitely.
Square is a public square at the southeast corner of the intersection of Yonge Street and Dundas Street East in downtown Toronto. The square has hosted many public events, performances, and art displays, establishing itself as a prominent landmark in Toronto and one of the city's prime tourist attractions. The intersection is one of the busiest in Canada. The square is continuously illuminated by large billboard screens and corporate logos. Usually, the area, especially at Eaton Centre, it starts to get actually really busy and crowded during the evening by families and workers that like to hang out during the last day of the week.